So if you read the title of this video, you know we're going to be going over a lot. Yes, I've been gone and inconsistent for about 2 weeks. I'm glad to be back, but I do want to talk about what's been going on with me because I stopped uploading and posted some stuff on the internet and people freaked out. And after doing that, I felt like I owed you guys an explanation because it's not fair to the people that watch my videos and the people who care about me. So before I get into all that, this is a new series I'm doing called Let's Talk, where I talk about all sorts of topics, politics, news, etc., YouTube drama, which clearly I love doing. There's going to be certain episodes like this where I just talk with you one-on-one, and then there's going to be certain episodes where I actually bring on other people and guests to talk about and give their perspective on things. But with that being said, let's jump right into the first episode. So yeah, I've been depressed. In fact, I've probably been a little bit more than depressed. I've been a bit close to the edge lately. I've been drinking a lot more. Probably shouldn't say that on the camera since I'm only 18. Or you could just not say you're 18 on camera, Sonny. You ever think about that? But no, like, all jokes aside, this time I felt like I was really there. Like, there have been times where I've been there and I wasn't really there. Like, I felt like I was there and ready to do it, but I wasn't. And this time I was like really on edge. Like, I haven't been this way since I was probably 11 when I first started my drug and alcohol problems. The depression is really serious and it's increasing as time moves on. The economy is always changing. The creation of the internet made the job market and the social aspect of humanity really change over the years. You have divorce increasing, not to mention people not getting married, period, which has a tremendous effect on mental health with children. It's obvious how that contributes to problems in the household, but I want to touch on the job market aspect a bit more because I'm not saying that it's harder to find a job today, because it's actually a lot easier than it used to be. What happened was things became more global, meaning new job opportunities opened up all around the world for anyone, anywhere to get. But the thing is, when it got like this, things became less social. People start to get out less because it's just so easy today to make a living online on the internet. And that's both a good and a bad thing. It's a good thing for financial stability. It's not good for your mental health. Humans are naturally social animals, and we need that social aspect of our lives to stay healthy. And I feel like that's something that the internet has definitely stripped from us. And it's not really that surprising that we're having all of these problems because of it. I remember back in the day when you used to ask kids what they want to be when they grow up, and they used to say a doctor or a police officer. Nowadays, you ask a kid what he wants to be when he grows up, and he says a YouTuber or a SoundCloud rapper, which is fine. And it's not like these professions aren't full of success, otherwise nobody would be fucking with them. But so many kids look up to these big YouTube stars and say, I want that life, or these rappers or artists' life, and say, I want that life, and they work day and night towards it. But the problem is they're working so hard towards it that they neglect all outside responsibilities and relationships because they're strictly focused on this one thing. As you start not taking care of your mental health, and then depression starts to develop because you're now missing this social aspect of your life. And then you start to neglect even more things to try to cope with how you're feeling, and strictly focus on the one thing that makes you happy instead of outside responsibilities that don't really make you feel better. Some people like me neglect doing hobbies or taking time off to do things that make them happy outside of what they want for a career, because they feel like that if they do take time to take a break, that it's a waste of time and it's slowing them down from reaching their goal. Some people neglect even things like their hygiene or their cleanliness. It's like all one big trap. You get depressed and you try to focus on that one thing that makes you happy to try to cope with your depression, but doing that just makes you more depressed because you're neglecting so many things that you need in your life. And it's not even just YouTube or SoundCloud, it's anything. If you just dedicate or strictly focus on one thing in your life and that's it, and then for some reason or whatever reason that one thing doesn't work out the way you thought it would, and you just completely base your entire existence on this working and keep trying and trying and trying while neglecting all of these other things outside of that are your responsibilities, you're just making yourself more miserable. And this goes for dream jobs, relationships, goals, everything. Boys, girls, listen. Do not evolve your life so much around one person or one thing to the point where that if that one person or one thing doesn't work out, that you completely fall apart and don't know what to do because you gave that one person or one thing your everything. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying don't put any effort into a dream job or a relationship. I'm saying when it gets to the point where you're strictly focused on that one thing and you're neglecting other things outside like friends, family, etc., then it's no longer a dream job or a dream, it's an obsession. Obsessions can be very unhealthy and they can contribute a lot to depression. I mean, think about it. You neglect your friends for one thing for so long, and then that one thing doesn't work out, and then you try to go back to those friends, and now those friends don't even consider you to be one of their friends anymore because you've been neglecting them for so long for that one thing. I've neglected friends, and not a day goes by where I don't think about the kids I went to high school with and wish I got to get to know a lot of them better. And I know that I'm not on their minds the way that they're on my mind. And that is nobody's fault but mine. It's my fault for being neglectful. It's my fault for being antisocial. It's my fault for being a loner. That's another thing I wanted to touch on. Don't ever allow yourself to become a sociopath or develop sociopathic behavior. So let me give you an example. My mom is a sociopath, and so every problem in her life, old problems, new ones, is somehow something or someone else's fault. She'll never take responsibility for her own actions or any of her own contributions to the problems that she has. And whatever decisions she makes, how those decisions affect other people in either the long or short run, it's completely irrelevant to her. She doesn't care. So never allow yourself to indulge in sociopathic behavior. I can acknowledge that majority of the problems in my life are of my own making, and they're because of me. I'm not going to blame somebody else for them. Now, not everyone is the same. There's some people who aren't depressed because of market, jobs, relationships, etc., everything we just talked about. Some people, there's some certain scenarios where it's completely obvious where it's somebody else's fault for something that's happening in your life to a certain extent. Kids grow up abused, neglected, and hurt by their childhoods, and it affects them later as adults. I had an abusive childhood, and surprise, surprise, so did my mother. So for those of you watching, I want you to recognize that pattern. Now, recognizing that pattern, there's two very dangerous feelings that you need to avoid at all costs because they can really cause problems in your life, and that is regret and dwelling on the past. One example of regret is I had to leave to go to school, and in doing so, I had left my brothers to deal with my mother alone. And I came back, and it was like our entire relationship was completely changed and different. And I didn't enjoy how it was. And I knew it was my fault because it was. But the thing is, I couldn't allow myself to continue to dwell and regret my past decision to go to school instead of staying there, because if I'm too busy dwelling and regretting my past decisions, my mind is going to be all caught up in that rather than focusing on being a good big brother in the now. If you continue to regret and dwell on past decisions that you made, past mistakes you made, it's going to affect your now. It's going to stop you from being the best you can be now. And listen, to the people who aren't necessarily regretting a decision but are dwelling on something, look at it this way. I'll never forget the things my mother has done to me and said to me. I'll never forget how she beat me. I'll never forget how she starved me. I'll never forget how she told me I would never be shit. I've held on to that shit for so long. Eventually, I had to wake up and say, you know what? Fuck you. Because you told me that I'm not gonna be shit, I'm going to be the shit. I'm gonna get 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I'm gonna be famous. I'm gonna be somebody. And when that happens, you're not getting a fucking dime. For those of you that are watching this video right now, I want you to take out a pen and paper and quote me, because this is something I want you to think about every single day if you're really serious about improving your life. Men, women, boys, girls, everybody. Success is the biggest fuck you to everyone who has ever wronged you. Success is the biggest fuck you to everyone who has ever wronged you. Once I woke up and realized this, I woke up every day with a weird, strange feeling of peacefulness, because I knew that if I work hard, I'm going to reach my goals. It doesn't matter if it happens next year or 15 years from now. I know that if I keep striving towards success, success will happen. And I'm going to end this episode right here, but before I do, I want to show you a clip and then tell you a story about a man that you all know and love, known as Will Smith. So I'll play the clip for you right now.
Yow, I just saw this Rumi quote that I love. Set your life on fire and seek those who fan your flames. The Philly translation of that is, don't be hanging with no jank ass jokers that don't help you shine. The prerequisite for spending time with any person is that they nourish and inspire you. They feed your flame. There's been very few times in my life that I looked left or looked right and didn't find a person who believed and supported me. From Jazzy Jeff to Alfonso Ribeiro to Charlie Mack to Jada, like, there's always been a person beside me fanning my flames. Look at your last 5 text messages. Are those people feeding your flames or dousing your fire? Put your phone down for just a second and look around. Look to the people around you. Are those people throwing logs on your fire, or are they pissing on it? The people that you spend time with are gonna make or break your dreams. Everybody don't deserve to be around you. You gotta defend your light with your life. So who are the people in your life that are fanning your flames? Shout them out, tag them below.
Now let me tell you what's so sad about this video. What's sad about this video is that it's completely right. And you have all these people in the comments and replies going, wow, Will Smith is so woke, right? And hashtag truth, hashtag 100, right? But the sad thing about it is, most of these people saying this are never going to actually apply anything that he said into their actual lives. Hardly any of them do. Will Smith fought long and hard for success ever since he was a kid. That's why he's been famous since he was a kid. And the thing that triggered that drive of his is all because of a girl named Brooke. Brooke was Will Smith's girlfriend as a teenager, and he caught her at a party. I'm not sure if it was a party, if I remember it correctly, but he caught her kissing another guy, and that broke him. She got with another guy because she thought he wasn't shit, and it was at that point that he said no more, and he became the shit. Now there's no motherfucker on this planet that doesn't know who Will Smith is. Will Smith is a very well-known household name, and I can't imagine where Brooke is right now, especially if somebody's life isn't so great. I can only imagine what it may feel like if a new Will Smith movie comes out and your husband or your kids want to see it and you have to personally avoid it to avoid being reminded of the mistake you made. I can't imagine how she must feel. I can't imagine how stupid she must feel. But that's it for the video. I'm gonna end it here in the first episode here. If you guys liked, make sure you like the video, comment, subscribe with notifications, because YouTube is fucking people over. But all that stuff I typically ask for at the end of a video. If you're interested, I do gaming, funny moments, and stuff like that. So go ahead and check that out if you're interested. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.